I'm the one coming saying, I'm ready to destroy this, and you're the one, well, hold on, let me...
There must be balance.
Yes, it's a case. It's a court case, so to speak.
Okay.
Banished.
I banish thee to the Shadow Realm, or whatever it was called.
Phantom Zone.
Beware, I hunger.
I want to do this segment that I'm really excited for. I think we're both excited for it, but I think I might be more excited than Jay, because he's kind of learning on the fly here. And it's called Banished to the Phantom Zone, which is, of course, as we said, a DC plug. And we're going to use this as our Marvel plug. So it's fair. Fair is fair. So how this segment works is one of us is going to come up with a topic and pitch aspects of the topic, and the other person will be the judge and decide whether...
the judge today?
You're the judge today.
Okay.
And decide if aspects of the topic will be banished to the Phantom Zone or not. And so I will try to convince Jake on the topic of movie critics. I would like to banish various aspects of movie critics, and I'll pitch different kind of categories of this, subcategories of this category, so to speak.
Right.
And when Jake says, yes, I agree, you make a good pitch, I'm going to banish it, he will hit the gauntlet.
Okay.
And there we go. So the topic today of what I would like to banish is movie critics.
I moved to strike, sir, because we're movie critics. We've been
That
criticizing movies like today already.
That we are. That is true. But see, let me explain the categories of this topic, and we will try to banish each individual category, or we won't.
Okay.
So, my first category of the topic of movie critics to banish is social media warriors.
Okay.
So these are the people who get online and just complain about something, especially those who complain before they've actually seen a movie. For example, Venom movie comes out. Oh, it's a Venom movie that doesn't have Spider-Man? I'm not going to go see it. Or, oh, it's not Han Solo playing Han Solo? I'm not going to go see that movie. It hasn't even been 6 months since The Last Jet or Return. Whatever, you know. I'm getting frustrated and flubbing my words. So this is how passionate I am about being upset about the keyboard warriors.
It's fine, and you have me very strongly convinced on that as well.
I figured that. See, this one I think we'll agree on most of it, and so are we banishing the keyboard warriors, the social media warriors, to the Phantom Zone?
I mean, let's just wait and see if we banish movie critics altogether to the Phantom Zone.
Well, we want to
banish one at a time.
We want to banish a topic at a time, and then do kind of the
average. They're
Yeah.
banished. That's
Okay.
fine.
So let me add that we want to do the average. I'll give 5 topics of this category.
Okay.
And so if say 3 out of 5, they're gone. If it's, we just got to see what we agree on and what we don't agree on. It'll make sense once we're done, and then we can move forward and do better. The next one, maybe we won't agree on. I move to banish legitimate, I suppose. I use that term very, very loosely. But the critics that actually get paid to be critics, who have their own website, such as Rotten Tomatoes, for example. And the reason I moved to banish Rotten Tomatoes and similar sites is because I feel like they are very biased. There's rumors that they get paid to be biased. Whether that's true or not is unproven, but it sure seems to be when majority of Disney movies, Marvel or otherwise, do really well, and then anything not that doesn't. Or the movies that are in the Oscar categories that, so it sometimes feels like Disney and the Oscars might be giving a little money on the side for some of these sites to give good reviews. This has caused what we were kind of touched on earlier, issues such as this, what turned into kind of a war between don't go see Venom, go see the Lady Gaga movie. What is that, Star is Born?
A Star is Born.
Yeah. And so, movies have always came out on the same day, and it's usually at most a friendly competition as who's going to sell out this weekend, who's going to do better money-wise. But this turned into almost a war, and it's like, why does everything have to be a war? So anyway, I moved to banish sites like Rotten Tomatoes. If you disagree, pitch your reasoning.
I might disagree just because I think sites like Rotten Tomatoes are important for the average moviegoer so that they can see Rotten Tomatoes, they have started doing their own reviewing of movies too, and sometimes I don't agree with what they've done, but they are aggregate score getter, I guess. They get a bunch of other people who review by themselves independently, and they gather their scores and give the aggregate score out.
Right.
So I think that they can be important, although I get pissed a lot of times when I read them. I think it is important that we leave that open, but we still scrutinize people when we disagree with them, because if we're to get rid of critics altogether, or God Almighty, if we were to get rid of them altogether, I feel like we're kind of lumped in that category too, as a critic, like a hard critic, and not just a fan, as we're coming out as with a title on social media to come with.
As long as people don't take some of the more ridiculous reviews too hard. I mean, had we have listened to Rotten Tomatoes, we wouldn't have gone to see Venom.
Yeah.
But you make a good point, so that one stays. So we do not banish Rotten Tomatoes and similar sites to the Shadow Realm. So we're 1 for 1. Let's go with YouTube reviews. Now I'm just kind of throwing this one out there for fun, because we kind of fit into this more than anything else. But sometimes I think they can be just as much of the problem. See, we're different. I'm going to toot our own horn here for a second. We don't complain, I feel, we don't complain as often as we praise movies. We usually talk about the movies we like. We're a little biased in that way. We try not to complain. But if something's just absolutely trash, we'll bring it up. Because
I see what you're saying.
I get it though, that some people's livelihood, they get paid to talk crap and tear things down, and that's what you expect of them. You know, it's kind of started with radio shows before it turned into YouTube shows. But I'm just throwing that out there for fun. I move that we banish YouTube reviews to the Shadow Realm.
I think I can agree with you on this one, as YouTube usually gets me pissed off because there are people on there that just make money for ripping things apart, where they might not actually feel that way. If they're if they were, I don't want to say held a gun to their head, but sometimes it's like, oh, how can I get the most clicks? So
let's be fair. We're not talking about the reviews that try to be fair and they try to go about it and they kind of express, this is my opinion, but here's my science behind it, and they kind of elaborate and explain and analyze, because analyzing is fun. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing
You're talking about overreacting.
Yes. So I'm specifically the YouTube sites that are constantly just, let me just trash this for fun. Now, I greatly enjoy things like, what's that one site, the 50 Things Wrong With, or different ones like that, but still, I'm going to lump them in this category because I do feel, as much as I might enjoy them, kind of like another example might be Botchamania. It's just there to make fun of it, and sometimes that causes as much of a problem as anything. So
I'll allow it.
All right, so still hope here for us to banish movie critics overall.
Or hope for them to live. I mean,
yeah, I'm the one trying to
like
ban
you really want them to be banished.
Well, that's why I brought this topic up. That's
because I'm holding the gauntlet.
Yes,
I'm Thanos in the DC universe.
I'm the one coming saying, I'm ready to destroy this, and you're the one, well, hold on, let me...
there must be balance.
It's a case. It's a court case, so to speak.
Okay.
So next we have petitioners and activists. These are...
Go no further! Banished!
Yes. So, to just briefly explain, these are the people that will go so far as to say, we want everyone to sign a petition so that The Last Jedi has to be remade. That is ludicrous. You are entitled to your opinion, but to go that far...
Order! It's been banished.
To go that far.
We know.
Point proven. So, we are 3-1. I don't even have to bring up the 50.
Because it's banished!
So...
Why do we even have to go this far? Movie critics!
Banished.
I banish thee to the Shadow Realm, or whatever it was called.
The Phantom Zone.
The Phantom Zone!
We don't even have the name down of our own thing. So for the record, my fifth one would have been this very specific idea of fan fatigue. For example, Star Wars was accused of being bad because of fan fatigue. I am almost more for that in a sense. I would like to have Star Wars movies all the time, if I'm being honest. But the idea of fan fatigue, it's a thing. But that doesn't matter. We have banished the movie critic.
Yes,
So
they're gone.
there we go. So next time we do this, hopefully Jake will have a topic, and he will say, I would like this banished, and we will go through 3 categories of the topic, and then I will be Thanos, and we will banish it to the Phantom Zone. Or maybe we'll change the name.
Yes. The Shadow Realm. Is that a thing?
The Shadow Realm's from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay, that's fine because I don't know anything about that. It's not Yu-Gi-Oh's because it doesn't exist. What's Yu-Gi-Oh? Yu-Gi-Oh's the one on... That's on Saturday morning, right? Cartoons.
Sure.
It
Yu-Gi-Oh's
used to be on.
Here's a way to piss
And
a lot of people off.
Yu-Gi-Oh's
Yu-Gi-Oh's the
the one-
Pokemon ripoff.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh's the one where it's like,
Only
oh
cards.
God, I'm gonna get beat. We're gonna die. We're gonna lose finally. Oh wait, I got Blue Eyes White Dragon. Why didn't I just use him first?
So you do know.
Yeah,
You do
that's
know.
the one.
That's funny.
That's the one because it was on before Turtles, and I'd always see Blue Eyes White Dragon. I'm like, is this the same episode every time?
Pretty
No,
much,
it's
yeah.
Jake. It's
No,
really
it's
not.
pretty much is.
All right, so that also sums up. I mean, kind of what you're talking about with the pervert show thing. Oh, by the way, I call all animes pervert shows, and that's
Except Dragon Ball.
Yeah, except Dragon Ball, because that's Dragon Ball Z. So
Right. Anyway, and then our camera person's making a face like, are you kidding me right now? Anyway, so that's banished to the Shadow Realm / Phantom Zone.
all right, so thanks for watching, and let's get ready to duel.